Not melee weapons, right?
No.
Okay, so the fire sword is alright. Okay.
Yeah, you might have the fire sword on your hip or something, or you could have put it away as well. I don't know if you plan on using it. You probably would have had it on your person instead of because you have to use like a whole action to get into the pantry. So you want to put the stuff away that you're not going to be using, but still want accessible to you, you know, in the pantry.
All right.
And that gun, although it does not have bullets for it, you probably might be able to purchase it. Like, I don't know how much gold you have at this point, but how much gold do you have?
35.
35 gold? You're poor. All right. Gotcha.
45.
Still, I mean, your dad just gave 50 gold for the flamethrower.
Oh.
Yeah. That's like half a year's worth of gold to some people. But anyways, you reach up to the gate. You don't have any firearms on your person, so they're not going to be concerned at all. They ask if you have a pass.
Pass?
Yeah. Well, once they realize that you don't have a pass, they're like, no, then just go ahead then.
All right.
Yeah. They just let you through.
Where's this gigantic tower that that the warden is in?
Is the one right in front of, as soon as you enter. It is this tower tipped blue right here, called as a Alice Tower. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that's like an air balloon or something.
Nope. It is the tower. Excuse my janky drawing. This was all drawn by hand, and it does look weird. Like, things don't line up. They're not all going up straight the same way, and that has nothing to do with anything other than me not knowing how to draw well. But we can assume that isn't a weird thing sticking out of the ground, and that those two buildings are separated for sure. Because while there is a dome arena here, this is where you would find Azaela's tower, and it's just so tall that it covers most of what anybody from this position would see, is what I would assume. So Azaela's tower is available to you almost as soon as you enter. It doesn't take you that doesn't take long to reach that place. Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Upon entering Azaela's tower, pardon. You are met with again another pair of centaurs. This one, this time, specifically has a the bottom is a scorpion, and the top is sort of just like a hairy troll thing. It's very hard to tell what they are. They look like an orc, or just, yeah, I guess hairy troll would be the best way to put it. They're like, there's vines on this entity which would emulate hair. They seem weird and sickly green, and their bottom part is definitely that of a three-legged and the bulbous tail of a scorpion with pincers on the side, very tiny pincers on the side. The other one is a regular centaur. They look like an elf on a horse, a brown horse at that. Both of them pretty armored. The guy with the scorpion bottom half does not have metal armor. They have leather armor, but they both sort of just stand in the way in this open space where it sort of looks like you could just run past them, but obviously they're kind of waiting for someone to do that. Almost, they kind of have that air about them, like they're bored and are kind of tempting people. Like, go ahead, try it. Go ahead. I want to see what happens. But they themselves, professionally, do ask you after saying, "Welcome to Lady Azayela's tower. May I ask your purpose of being here?"
I just want to talk to the warden because of this letter.
Okay. May I see the letter?
Sure. And Feara hands them the letter.
You hand him the letter. He feels that there's a coin in the letter. And he drops the coin in his hand. He looks to it, and then he just touches the coin to the wall. He puts the coin back in, and he hands it to you. And he says, "You're clear to go. Thank you."
All right, thank you. Feara goes in, and
you hear as you're walking. Yeah, as you're walking past them, you hear the scorpion dude say, "I thought it was a letter. No, they had a coin. Oh, why didn't they say that? I don't know." And then it seems as if this area is pretty massive and wide. But the moment that you touch that the coin touched the thing, is sort of activated for your person. As you can tell, there is now an image on the ground. While the floor looks to be white marble, there now seems to be sort of this waypoint pointing you towards an elevator way further on ahead. Now, the moment you enter this place, sort of seemed like the building could hold a massive amount of space, but passing those doors, the space sort of looked to multiply. It seemed to hold much more within. Maybe you're more underground, or maybe there's magical influence in here, but there seems to be a row of desks with people filled with it. Some people are already attending to other individuals that are from the city. But regardless, the waypoint points you further up ahead to an elevator, several, I want to say about 100 feet away from where you entered in. And it takes you a bit of a time for you to walk there, and you're looking left and right, and you see a whole bunch of different offers, so to say. They're not shops, they're just options for those that seem to be influential enough to enter the building. Specifically, you also see a place that sells firearms and ammunition. That is the one that you see closest to the door, of which when you reach the end. And in that, it seems to be just an elevator there. There seems to be a little tab, a little pad thing that you could touch, similar to that which the centaur himself touched. Question is, do you use the coin for it?
Yes.
Okay. You have no attendant there, so you use the coin yourself. You press it on there. The elevator door opens and gives you access to it, apparently. Do you go in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going in, it seems to be a white space as well, almost as if pure light is what is lifting or powering this thing. And there's only one button to press, apparently. You press the button.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Okay.
going out of the elevator, it leads you to a hallway. This hallway shines a light to an open door. You can tell the moment that you look to the open door, there is a bit of a figure that pops out to check out who just used the elevator. And this individual is definitely no taller than 4 feet. As they peek out, they sort of turn around, say something, turn back around, look to you, and then they kind of just call you over. You eventually make your way. They don't call you over, they signal you over. Eventually making your way, you do walk into this space, and you see the gnome individual having sat back down already. Their shield and weapon is close to them. They are not bearing it. And currently, you can see that there is a lizard folk similar to the one that you saw in the photo album, sitting there working on some stuff. Currently, writing on a piece of parchment, what it seems. This individual looks up to you and sort of signals you as well to join them in their seat over there. And they continue writing down, sort of ignoring you a bit. What do you do?
Oops, that's not good, right?
That's what?
Nothing.
Sit down. He's still writing some stuff. He looks up to you. He gives you like a bit of a nervous smile, and he says, "Just a second. I'm nearly complete." Takes him a couple seconds, and he does sort of finish up. It seems that he sort of scans the whole thing, puts it to the side. He's like, "Oh, worry about the signature in a moment. Hi. I don't know you. May I ask your name?"
My name is Feara V. Ofen.
Often.
And Ofen, yes.
What brings you here?
I was sent here because I pulled up this sword from a tree, and my father told me that you can help me about this.
Your father.
Yes.
Your father didn't happen to take the name Often as well, did he?
Yes, he did.
I feel like you and your old man and myself are acquaintances since in some way or another. Does he have anything for me?
What?
Does he have anything for me?
I'm gonna ask this as a player. What did you mean?
Well, he gave you a letter to give to him.
Oh. There, yes, I do. And he knows like a letter.
You do you have the envelope or the letter alone?
Oh, the envelope.
Okay. Taking the envelope, he just like everyone else feels that there's weight to it. Kind of pulls out the coin first, looks to it, and he hands it to you. The coin. He says, "This isn't mine to hold on to. If your father wishes for you to hold on to this is access to the city itself. It would give you access in all within the city. That means if you had someone holding a firearm, if you had a ticket for it, you no longer require that. They'd be able to let you pass with this pass effectively. But again, he sort of just looks to the letter, he pulls it out, and it takes him a bit. If he finishes it up, closes it up, puts it back in the envelope, and then just holds it in his hand there. And he's kind of nodding, looking to you a bit, and he says, so your father says, sorry, yeah, you said that you found yourself in a dream?
Yes, sir.
And once you exited this dream, something that you were holding is now in your person?
You got cut off right there.
He said, if in that dream, something that you were holding, did it come with you?
Yes, sir.
So you experienced a awakened dream, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Is there some sort of services that you're seeking out specifically in regards to that? We do assist in that regard, but if your mind can handle that level of jarring experience, then maybe we could talk about a future in my ranks. You see, those that have experienced awakened memories, those who have been touched by past, they sort of always seem to be connected in one way, shape, or form to espers. I can tell that you are not fully elf, but there's a hint to it. Am I wrong in this?
What?
Am I wrong in saying that you may have some elf in you?
No, you're right. I half elf.
Yeah. In this planet, which was controlled by elves, elf god at that, it is most likely that those awakened in this place will be affected by their kin. In this, I wish you would be careful around the fey afflictions and weird radiation points, but honestly, nearly unavoidable in this location. But I have an idea. I have a plan now with this, as your father has informed me of something that I have asked him to research for me. It seems that, well, there is a change coming in this world. I don't mean to be so mysterious here. And he sort of just like is scratching at his bald head. He has this massive claws. This is a large individual after all. He has his massive claws that scratch at him. And while most lizard folk would have some sort of protrusion or tell of a sort that could theoretically show off that they are a dragon entity or some kind of like bone-like structures that rip out of them. Most folk, lizard folk that are connected to Adasaur, do have this tell, this sort of wow, not even that. I want to say this sort of heritage? No. Blemish? No. There's a word I'm trying to say. They often receive this in their lineage, is what I'm trying to say. And in that, you realize that this individual, as massive as they are, seem to be devoid of all sorts of protrusions or ejected bones compared to most lizard folk that are that would be connected to Adasaur. This individual, you know, to be a direct descendant to Adasaur, in fact. But regardless, the Warden of Imaly sort of is shuffling around with some paperwork, and he finally does find something, and it seems to be a bounty flyer or paper, and he sort of just hands it over to you, and he says, In this planet, there are several things that need to be achieved if I am to properly free it of its curse, and my attempts in this have been well, different in each case. Currently, I am seeking out someone to be able to find the location of an entity of this monstrosity, and he does point to that flyer. This thing seems to evade most all people, but everyone that it has attacked physically seems to be set into a spin of awakened memories and do not come out of it until, well, until they eventually expire. I have 2 cases.
Expire?
They go in and out of their dream state. And for one of the cases, an incident occurred which led to their death. In the other case, they were struck long enough ago that they simply were not taking care of their bodily functions. They weren't eating.
Oh.
I have 4 other people afflicted by this. It seems as if the people touched by this thing get a curse, an affliction that is worse than all the others. I have yet to see something like this, but it seems to be connected with this massive thing. And to be fair, the bounty, the paper, the paper that is in front of you, it has, like, it looks like a tornado, if not like a whirlpool in the air, sort of like is the image of a whirlpool, like drawn pretty intricately by an artist, and it seems to like be above a little city, like you see a little city that is flying over, and it says name unknown, size unknown, all the information most unknown. It says locations where to find Minitino. It says if you found in this entire continent is what it's saying. But he does sort of point to it, and as you're looking at it, you recognize this thing as an entity that flew over once before, literally the day that you came into the underworld, you saw this thing, and may have, in fact, been the cause of the reason that you fell into the underworld. As when it arrived, it forced out water to be ejected in all instances, left, right, up, and down in all directions. I mean, and with that, the rushing winds were tough enough that would have pushed you in and around to wherever you were going. And if you were close enough to an entry point in the underworld, you probably would have been thrown in there and have landed somewhere within. And for all you know, this is the thing that made you go into the underworld a while ago when you fell in.
Also, when I was in the underworld 2.5 months ago.
Before you got into the underworld, you saw this thing, and either you were trying to rush for cover, or it itself pushed you into whatever hole that damned you into the underworld itself.
Oh.
But regardless, you notice it, you recognize it. Oh, geez. I keep yawning for some reason. I'm tired, I guess.
Too.
Pardon me.
I just run.
We're just infecting ourselves now with that. But yeah, this thing is definitely familiar to you. You just don't know its capacity. You only saw it from far away, so you could only imagine its size. And Litourdom here, as you know him, he is the warden of this place, different from the warden of which you saw fighting you in your dream. By the way, they are not the same person. This guy is large and is holding a spear. The other guy was small and had a gun. But as he continues, he says, without actually knowing where this entity is going to be, I feel the best way to relocate it. Wow. Let me stand up. Relocate it, not stand up, sit up. In order so that we could take it out. My question is, really, as I am allied with you personally, I will ask you what you think the proper rate for this thing would be.
The proper rate?
What do you think it will cost me to pay you to get rid of this thing? To locate it, destroy it, to build the team that will take this out of the air. I have a lot of pull, but I have sent many of my resources, my people, to the underworld to take care of business. I currently, as I stand, am lacking personnel. You are from here. If you have the proclivities of your father at all, then most likely you can easily assemble a bit of a team. What's the price? As you can tell, the reward on the bounty says "See Warden."
The warden?
Yeah, it says "See the Warden," like him. So regardless, if you were to destroy this thing before meeting him, you would have had to talk to him. If you destroyed it after the fact, you would have had to talk to him and then prove it, unfortunately.
Oh.
But he's asking.
Feara hasn't destroyed it.
Not yet, but he's offering you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chance, since you have an awakened dream, since this thing seems to be connected to dreams in some way. Maybe you are the perfect person to locate it. He's assuming at this point. You can sort of tell, but he seems to be at a quarter.
So is he like asking on how much he's gonna pay Feara to like destroy this thing?
Yep, he needs a job done. He's hoping you will get that job done, and he's kind of assuming that you will get a group together to get the job done. Kind of assuming that you're as skilled as your father in whatever your father is skilled at.
Well, his father used to be a thief, so he probably like cost Feara a little bit about stealing.
Yeah. You don't know how much, what exactly he's assuming, but he's assuming a lot. You can already tell. Like his eyes are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you walked in. I need your help."
How much gold? Remember his some betting like 300 gold.
Wait, what are you asking?
No, I'm not asking anything. It's just my mind. It's like betting on 300 gold.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, is that what you say?
Yeah, sure.
His head sort of drops, looking to the ground a bit. He's sort of giving you a nod. He says, "Sure, 300 gold a piece. How many in your group?"
Hold on. Hold on. I'm saying this as the player. I don't know if anyone is going to like join in the next session.
Okay.
If it's just Feara, it is just Feara.
Yeah, but that's not what he asked. He asked how many in your group. He didn't ask anything else. You see, you can give him a number.
Gosh, I don't want to bet. But how many of the players are going to join in the next session?
I assume everyone to get on. I don't know. So 5?
I'll probably say 3.
Okay. Are you sure?
3.
Because I assume
and Danny.
I assume 4 other people to get on. Dravels gets on whenever they want. They haven't told me anything as of late, so I don't know. Cassie's the only one I wouldn't count, really. So I'd count everyone, and then if they don't show up, then I have to write you out. That's my problem, though. Again,
What do you mean?
I have to write them out the story somehow. Like sometimes you guys are next to each other, and then sometimes the session ends, and then we come back to the next session, and then like we're still next to each other, but then somehow someone disappeared. I don't know. It's just a circumstance of online games. Or games in general when people have schedules. But you could decide whatever number is a number that you say, as they sort of seem to be wondering about that themselves.
I'm just gonna guess that 3 people are gonna join next session, so Ferris is just going to say 4, including him.
He nods. As the way I've been running things recently in Imaly, I pay up front. I assume the job to be done. If not, I'll use the full force of the 300 System Alliance to come after those that owe me. I would rather not come after anyone, because I can assume that your folk themselves are trusted. I trust them. That's what I mean. But I will give you the gold. He sort of writes down on a piece of paper, gives it to you. It seems to be 300 times 4, so 1,200 gold. In a bunch of script, a bunch of words that you would be able to tell because it is draconic. It would be a bank slip. It's just a bank slip is what it is. But
okay.
He seems to accept the terms. He nods. He gives you the that slip and the bounty paper as well, so that you have that reference. But he asks, "Is there anything else that you need from me? Is there any way I can help in this venture? Any information I could divulge?"
Let me think. Okay, I'm gonna ask this as the player, right? Where does this like whirlpool thingy actually starts? Like, is it from the sea, or is it like somewhere in the continent?
You know that when it first began, where you first saw it, before it became an issue and sort of pushed you into whatever place it pushed you into, assuming that's what we're going to canonically go for, it did sort of come from the Eastern Bay. Yeah, it came from the ocean for sure.
Oh, okay. What? What's Feara going to ask from this warden that used to be an alliance with my father, but with his mother?
Don't know.
Probably. I think he's not gonna ask anything, and he'll just say,
All right.
yeah. He's just not gonna say anything. He's not gonna ask any questions.
Fair enough. He nods to you. He says, I did not meet your allies, but I can only assume if, again, they're anything like your father, most would probably prefer to stay incognito. In this, I am willing to accept some blind acceptance, I guess. And yeah, just don't run away with the gold. And whatever comes from your learning of this thing, if we can at least locate its layer so it can be put down properly, that'd be excellent. I know that alone is a task. But at minimum, that is my requirement. So effectively what he's saying is locate the layer or destroy the thing. After locating the layer.
Locate
The layer of the...
locate the thing.
Yep, locate where it lives. Find out where it's going, what's it about, what's it doing, why. And then destroy it if you can.
So,
but you don't have to destroy it. So like if you find out where it lives and like let's say you're the only one left, you could just come back and be like, hey, I found out where it lives. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll take care of it now. Sorry about your friends. But yeah, they gave you a slip where you could pick up 1,200 gold once you take the elevator back down. You take the elevator back down? You leave the space? You ask any more questions? No? Okay. So
he's not gonna ask. Feara isn't gonna ask questions, but he's like wondering if this dude was like friends with his father. Aside from the picture, obviously, like how well do they know each other? Like his father and this warden.
There's an air of familiarity to their eyes to you, almost like when he found out you were related to the offhands. He almost wanted to smile and hug you a bit, as if he was like, oh, I know you, almost immediately. Their face just couldn't put it together prior to that. And with that, though, it seems that they were respectful enough to not reach forward into that. Not to jump in for no reason. I'm using the wrong words. I'm not sure what word I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say not so rudely to jump in for like a hug, not to touch you for any reason without asking. But they did seem sort of like more interested. They seemed more interested. They leaned over more. They had a smile on their massive jaw while you're talking. Yeah, they felt like a blast from the past had met them just now. Dissimilar to what your father's eyes looked like, he had a bit of a weight within him. That weight didn't seem to translate until that letter was read properly. But then again, also not as much as what your father had. It seemed like your father had thought about that letter a while ago, and while it was read, maybe there was something going on there. There was some bad news in there, but it didn't seem as bad as what Adasor may have alluded to it, or what your father would have alluded to it, or with his eyes at least. It seems Adasor was indifferent in it. Yeah, he was excited. He was happy about that. It was great. It was great for him to see you.
All right.
Yeah. He does invite you again soon. Yeah, when you go downstairs, you pick up your 1,200 gold, which you promptly throw into the pantry, because that's a lot of gold, right, and that's heavy. So you have 1,200 gold. What do you do now?
Probably Feara's probably gonna try and find his father where he is.
Okay.
He's still at the store.
He probably would have left home. Right.
But he's still going to like try. He's like gonna look around. Like, he doesn't see his father like probably stealing. He probably think that he's at home.
Yeah, most likely. Your father probably wouldn't steal around in the city. They have heavy laws against theft. That's their whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Outside of, like, way outside of the city, of course, no problem. Anywhere around the city, no. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of rain. I heard it.
Wow. Did you hear that?
Oh my gosh. That was rough. That's effectively what Litourdom is asking you to fight. He's asking you to fight rain right now. Fight a whirlpool of water. But yeah, looking around for your father, you'd be disappointed because you wouldn't find them at all. But what you would find is, well, within Azaela's tower, you would find a place to buy ammunition, if that's something that you wanted to do for the gun that you found. Which I will send you the information of later. The other weapon, though, I can give you the information of right now. Once I find it. Oh, wrong button. I have to adjust it apparently, but yep. I'll adjust it. It's no problem. But is there anything else that you would be looking to purchase in this time and space?
I think Feara has like a lot of gold left to like buy stuff because of the 45 gold.
You just got 1,000.
Oh, so technically I have 1,000.
You forgot about the 1,200 gold that you just got?
No, I just thought that Feara put it like in the pantry, like you said.
Yeah, you have access to the pantry. It only takes an action. It's like a key. Go in, out. The money does not get little, by the way, for some reason. The money just stays the same size.
Oh. There's a type of guy that doesn't like want to spend some money after he just got it from, like, for example, this, like from an offer.
Mm-hmm. What was a job, really?
Yeah.
300 of it is yours guaranteed, unless you want to cheap out on your allies. It's up to you. Because things that you do notice around the city are several. You can purchase. Well, yeah, you could purchase yourself a vehicle or some sort of an animal that would act as some sort of a travel companion. I'm trying to say, wow, I'm lost. My head is gone. I don't know. It's late. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
I've got the perfect companion for Feara.
Yeah. What is it?
Remember you said that they're like flying, they're like cast with wings from his like...
Yeah, tressums. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try to find yourself a tressum?
Yep. And take it, go to his like home and train it, I guess, like being his pet.
You're gonna...
His companion.
Okay. All right. Are you gonna pay to train them, or are you gonna train them yourself?
I'm gonna train myself.
Okay. Is this our very first next step that we're doing? That's the first thing that we're doing right now? Okay. So you're gonna go home, find yourself a tressum,
Yes.
And
Just
then
like living in the backyard.
yeah. Okay. All right. So that's your sword thing.
Runes of the Flame.
Yeah. But if you want some Tressum, definitely you can locate them heading back. How do you head back? Your father would have left already with the carriage. You would not assume that you were going to stay and that you were going to go back with him. You are your own person. So the question is, will you hire someone to take you back? Are you gonna buy a beast of burden to carry you all the way back home, or are you gonna walk?
He's gonna fly.
Oh yeah, you can fly, huh?
Yeah.
There you go. You can fly. I always forget. I gave you flight.
Just fly.
You just fly up and out back home, and in that, make a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. 19.
So there seems to have been a litter of Tressum that maybe due to circumstance have been flying around by themselves without a bigger Tressum to protect them. Usually when there's packs like this, there would be a much bigger Tressum. In this case, possibly as big as a Doberman, as small as maybe a bigger cat, I'll say. Clearly would indicate him. Go ahead.
So it's like a kitten?
Yeah, so clearly in the flock, usually it would indicate that a mother or a parent would be there to essentially be with them until they are flight capable. And what you find on your way home is a litter of kittens that are attempting to fly and have yet to catch the grasp of it. My question here is, do you help them?
First thing I would do is like look around to see if the parent is there, and if not, he's gonna take all of them and go home.
Okay, you can take them all?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to take them all, because the moment you interact with them, they pretty much imprint on you, as you are a flying entity as well. They see you flying.
Yeah, in a bear suit.
They see you flying and emulate it. So now you have several Tressum that are flying unlike most other Tressum are flying, but seem to follow you around just fine. In that batch, there are 5 of them. Yep. 4 of them are dark. One of them is golden colored. The 4 that are dark are mostly all spotted, all in varied states. One of them has a whole face that is white, and their paws are golden colored, just like their brother. The other one seems to be more zebra-like, and one of them just looks like they have polka dots on them.
Aww.
And then there's one with black wings instead of the white that all the other ones have, and the around the wings there's just a streaks of sort of like the zebra one, but not really. It's very different. But they have more of a mixture of black and whites, and again, this one has a golden tail. They all seem to have just a spot or a hint of gold, other than the one that's mostly gold. And they all fly. They all fly with you. They all come home. And then there's 5 new Tressum that you must feed in your home. Tressum generally don't go to where your house is, because there isn't much to find there. There's not much to scavenge. They're usually in the between space of your home and the city, because when you get to the city, you will find them perched all up and down the buildings. They're basically the rodents there.
Oh. Wait, so like all over the towers or something?
Yeah, you'd find like
high place.
Like the worst looking of them are all there. The ones you find here, they're like the prettier ones. They have lush furs.
Oh.
They seem to survive on the wildlife here. But the ones in the city, man, they look dejected. They look fucked up. They look like they've been through it.
Oh.
But yeah, with 1,200 gold and 5 extra Tressums, what do you do now?
Are the Tressums like clean? Because
Yeah. They clean themselves pretty often, yes. They're rarely walking on the ground.
Oh. Wait, where did Feara found these 5 Tressums? Like
on the
tree?
wing. Yeah, they were on the tree trying to learn how to fly themselves. And it seemed like 2 or 3 of them were having troubles, but all the siblings were trying to help everybody else. And then when you showed up, all of them got excited, and then they all started to fly almost immediately with you there. So you taught them how to fly, and then they imprinted on you. And now you have 5 Tressum. And I hope you don't take them on your adventures, or else they'll die.
Gosh, now I don't know. All of them are still babies.
It's okay. You can raise them. You can hang your hat.
Yeah.
Run away with 1,200. Start Tressum circus.
Nah.
Who needs a massive concerning whirlpool?
What?
Who needs a massive concerning whirlpool in their life?
The Warden.
He's not the first Warden you saw today.
The Warden that Feara met in the Ayala Tower.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you robbed the other Warden in your dream. You might as well rob this one, right? 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2.
I'm gonna have
No.
I'm gonna have Koiko make a wisdom saving throw when they see that gun.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, because that's the gun that basically killed them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that and an explosion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So does Feara also is Feara's like HP still the same from the dream?
Nah. We're gonna take a long rest. Effectively by next game, so you could reset from there. especially since in this space, I assume 100% that everyone's sort of taking it really easy, taking it chill, since not everyone's been jumping on. And in that degree, I'm just like imagining, put yourself in my position, like think of like, now I got to think of what Koiko's doing while Feara's doing whatever they're doing. So if you were to take like, let's say we say, how long do you spend researching the water entity? And you're like, I'm going to research them in a week from now. I'm like, okay, let me find out what happens with everyone else for a whole fucking week then. And it could be that it's easy. And I asked them, hey, what did you want to do for like a week? And they're just like, oh, could I like put all my effort into like working towards a proficiency that I'm already trying to search and eventually get? And I'd be like, yeah, that's a great idea. That takes care of that. Or it could be more nuanced and be like, I'd like to take care of some business, see what's going on with them, these people that I know over here and what's going on over there. And that's a whole different story if and when we get there. But we're not there. So I'm not concerned. And I will ask you, DS, what does Feara, who was named after Fierro, who is a god in this planet that was called once Ayala. What do you do?
Wait, what do you mean, what do I do?
What do you do in your time? After you get home, 5 tressums extra. Your parents are... Well, your mom is not happy. Your dad is a little happy. He's excited. He stole one. He stole the golden one. And he's just like carrying it around him. Like he doesn't expect to keep it, but he's just holding it. Like, this is my best friend now, and like the cat is looking out to everybody. So wherever he's walking, he's just arms crossed, and there's a tressum, wings tucked in, looking out, joining the conversation with everybody.
Oh my gosh.
And he's just like...
The fact that you said that Ferris Potter or Pier also has like a golden tressum makes me happy.
Yeah. I mean, he stole yours. At least for now. He just picked up yours and he's just holding them. He's like, oh. And he's just having casual conversations with anyone who would have casual conversations. When he goes to do whatever he's doing in his in the living room, he's just with the tressum. He goes back out to the yard with the tressum. It doesn't matter. Pretty much Jack.
Oh, I thought you said that he already had like a tressum. Like, oh.
No, he's stealing yours. It seems like. He just grabbed one of yours. He's like, oh, fine. No, he doesn't let it go eventually. It just seems that he was connected to it for some reason.
Oh, alright.
It perked him up. Your mom is not having a good time. She's actually looking around like, so are they just gonna live like in the rafters now? Because I don't want them inside.
But mom, but mother.
They're gonna stay in the rafters and make a mess eventually. There's a reason they're pretty much hated in the city. Like, I know these ones are cute. She kind of just rubs on one and it does like a on her. And she's like, oh, this thing is ugly.
Oh gosh, now Ferris Potter reminds me of Ferris mother reminds me of my mother.
She's like, yeah, I don't... They can stay in here, just don't let them sleep in here, okay? I don't want them leaving a mess around. She's so concerned they're gonna shit all over the place.
fine, mother. I'm just gonna like make a pillow for them, like a heater outside.
Your dad notices your mom's concern, and then he kind of like looking at this thing. Wait, these things are pretty young. They're not trained, are they? They're gonna cause problems. Oh well. How do you train and trust them?
Don't worry, mother. I'll train them. Trust me.
Your siblings do join. They love the kitties. They eventually start naming them. But they start arguing about the names is the problem. Like for the gold one, they want to name them like. And do remind me, what are your siblings' names again? Like, do you know off the top of your head, or your siblings? Do you not have a brother and a sister?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Do you remember their names?
Oh, hold on.
You forgot my name? Wow, Feara. Wow. You've been gone for like 2 months
Feara
only.
has a lot of siblings. Okay.
I'm kidding. They would have said that. No, yeah. Regardless, they would have been arguing about the golden one's name. Your brother wants to call it bronze to be ironic, and then your sister is saying, if you want to be ironic, call it silver or platinum. And then your brother says, no, forget it. We'll just call it tinderbox because it looks pretty shiny. And your sister, she says, that doesn't make sense. It should be called obelisk or monument or sundial. And they're just arguing back and forth, the two of them, about this. And the cat's face just like devolves to like excited to concerned in a matter of seconds after they're grabbed from your father's grasp, by the way. Your father feels betrayed by his children and walks away. The three of the other Tresson, hearing your siblings yak at each other all day long, they also follow your father, and he has companions there now. You probably are holding one, and your mom is with a broom in her hand the entire time, prepared to bat one if they decide to defile her floor.
Oh, so like scratch the floor.
No, she's hoping they don't crap on it.
Oh.
I don't think she's worried about the scratching. She does not want to clean up. So she's ready. She's like waiting for anyone to get in position, and she's already gonna shoo them away. No, go out. Yeah, your family. So how long do you spend training your Tressum children?
Probably like after their lunch, I guess. After lunch.
So like a day. Only a day. Try to teach them everything to be chill around in the house.
Yeah, potty train them especially
for a day. Okay, roll me animal handling. The rarely used roll. I don't know when was the last time I told anyone to roll an animal handling.
21.
That is insane.
21.
So there's a point in the night where you sort of you sort of come out to the yard after your the silence must have been deafening to your mom, who was the most concerned about the kitties. And while the cats have been meowing consistently, having a lot of fun, and meeting new people that interact with them and rub them and play with them, there isn't much meowing going on anymore. And then you walk in, opening the door, leaving it ajar, specifically holding it, and have your hand out as if to point someone in. And 5 of these little Tressum step in, all high, with their heads high, in a row. And then once they're all inside, they step in and sit down, waiting in a waiting position. Again, still head high, almost as if just like most of those Egyptian effigies of cats, they look very elegant and proud of themselves. They're just like that, sitting, almost as if you commanded them to sit inside when they step inside somewhere. They line up in a row, just like ducks, waiting for you. You close the door. You tell them at ease, and then the 5 of them sort of their shoulders let go a bit, and they seem to relax. And then they start flying to either position wherever they prefer to hang around. 2 of them walk to certain areas that are close by. Others just seem to go to the rafters where they were previously, seemingly preferring those positions. But your mom's face to this, as you come in with fully trained Tressum that have been barely born a couple days ago and barely trained a couple hours ago, have now been instilled with full mommy belief that you know all and we must follow whatever we believe our mommy is, we will do. And you are now mommy, so
So Feara's the mom of this.
you're mommy, yep. They consider you their parent. You're the one and all. They seem to listen to you, no questions asked. They
That's amazing.
they occasionally reach up to the door, tap at it twice, and you already know that's your trigger to open the door and to let them out whenever they need to go and take care of business. Usually, you leave the door open or you wait out and they come back. Oftentimes, you leave the door open and you see that it is closed by them, as they actually prefer, I'm actually going to stay outside now. You train them this well.
Yay.
The one thing is, you must now train them to follow your parents' orders, which wouldn't be too far-fetched for you after, again, another day. So all this was going to take you about 2 days to train your cats properly. Yeah, you got
Nice.
you got some well-trained Tressum that will now follow the orders of your parents. They are babies though, so it's not a full army yet. But let them grow up a bit, and then you'll have a horde you could summon on someone one day. Tressum attack! Yes, it can happen. To that aspect, you also know that, well, I'll tell you now, you can hire assistants whenever, especially if you are playing often with a sparse group. I always allow, since again, reality of the situation is always, this is an internet-based game. If someone doesn't feel like getting up, like, they're not gonna get up for the game. Like, I've specifically fallen asleep after the game, and I'm just like, well, I was a DM, so there was no game today then, huh? It's just what happens, and I try to mitigate that with having a certain amount of prerequisites, but really my best attempt is really to just pick up more players. I don't want more than 5 players though, because I feel like once you get 6 players and more, it gets a little wonky. People start like ignoring other people, and well, that isn't great ever. It's not fun for the person being ignored. But if no one shows up, then obviously I can just deep dive into the person that did arrive, or the people that did show up. Regardless, with that, in a roundabout way, I'm here saying, get yourself a hireling, get yourself a bodyguard, get yourself somebody that could fit the role that you need taken care of. If you need someone to tank for you, get yourself someone who could effectively do that. If you need someone who could use magic or access places that you couldn't, go for a mage or a thief, or a pardon, or is it what is it? What's the class? My book is right here in my hand. Rogue. The rogue is the word I'm trying to say. Yes. If what you're seeking is a beast of burden that can also act as a meat shield, they have them as well. They have specific. So I did mention the horse in which you came by to the town, right? These horses are rare, as your father found his way to them somehow, and he brought them home all the way. And there was once before that an official from the state showed up, knocked on the door, and was asking like a whole bunch of questions about the beast of burdens that your father had. He was asking if they were magically influenced, if they were fabricated in a wow, I'm trying to think, in a what's it called, in a lab. And in that, your dad was just like having a ball of a time, giving them the runaround and kind of making it look like, yeah, man, they're capable of like a whole bunch of different things. They have like laser eye vision and stuff like that. And like you could tell like the guy was not having a great time with this. He had to decipher what exactly was bullshit and what wasn't. And then he had to go check on the horses themselves. But the reality of the situation is this planet doesn't have horses. This planet
doesn't have horses.
This Fey world that they have horse people. So centaurs can be found here. Very rare, but centaurs can be found here. Centaurs prominently also can be found in the planet Minithino. Ironically, 2 different locations have created the same type of entity, but in this world, they are generally more specifically equine, or is that the word? More horse-like. While in Minithino, they could be a variation of things. They could be like the bottom part could be like furry like a sheep. They could be more like a wolf. They could be more like a turtle or whatever. Regardless, in this world, there was concern about your father having these animals because they thought that they kidnapped some centaurs and then changed them to no longer be sentient. And there was like this whole thing. There was like 8 people that had to like one person interviewing while 3 people are around taking notes, looking at him and stuff. There was a group of people that were outside interacting with the horses, so that they could see like they were asking the horses question. The horses wouldn't respond. It was this whole thing. It made the news at some point. The headline said, "Beasts of burden from the stars have made their way to mystical lands." And you see like a picture of horses on a spaceship landing on what people symbolize as port. It's like a caricature. And
Wait, horses that land from a spaceship?
so that's how they drew it in the news. They made a caricature of the situation. Because as it turns out, your father actually did end up inside of a spaceship with his crew, having stole a whole bunch of the stuff from the spaceship. They just didn't notice that there were also living animals in there, and he decided to keep them.
So Feara's father stole stuff inside the spaceship.
And now has the only horses in the planet, yes. So, like I said, because your father has horses, I mentioned that. But if you go to Imaly, if you were seeking out a beast of burden, that meat shield that I was saying could assist you with, because they are trained to follow the word of whoever is they're told to follow. They can they're effectively massive lizard things that will eat something if you tell them to, like in a battle. And you can get on them, and you don't have to drive them. They walk to where you tell them to walk. They're that trained. Horses are a little different. Your dad kind of had to teach you them. Like they're very dumb. Yeah, there are beasts of burdens that you could get from Imaly, of the type that will definitely assist in a combat. You could get assistance from like somebody from, wow, it's called the butcher shop, effectively, where you can find some mercenaries, or you get a drone. You can also get a drone that will act in the capacity of protection and assault. That's also an option. That usually costs a lot more gold than any of the other options. Usually, you could probably pay like 100 gold and get yourself a mercenary for like a year, depending on the mercenary, depending on the place that you get them. If they're a better qualified, you probably get them for like a month for like the same price. But yeah, it's just options for things for you to think on, for what to do. If you are seeking out adventure and trying to at least locate that whirlwind in the air, it would behoove you to seek out some assistance at least. Like while your allies obviously are busy, and you could set up the letters to eventually reach them in order for them to meet you, so that they could pick up their gold, so that you guys can do the job proper. That's easily implemented into this game, especially since I'm going to have them. I'm time locking all the other players. It doesn't matter. Like whatever time we're passing is the time that's passing for all the other players, and we're going to play their time frame as is. Take 4 points. What happened to Jamal? Octavian was flung out of the underworld. Why? Time. Eventually, time. So miss enough games, and time is going to catch up to you. So I don't know. There's consequences here and there, but I don't know. Time is a pretty big consequence to anybody missing games. That is, like, I'm not going to kill them outright, but you're going to miss things. You're definitely going to not be where you want to be, probably.
Like, especially this where Feara got 5 presents.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is just positives for you because you showed up to your games, so you're good.
Yeah, of course.
So what do you do next? Do you want to stop now, or do you want to keep going?
How do you hire assistants?
Simple enough. In Imaly, ask around. Does it take you long for you to get to the people that would get you some assistance? Is that what it would be? You seeking out a mercenary or something?
But you said that the assistance person or the center or something entity, I don't know. You can just order them or they go from what they do.
It depends on what you're gonna get at the end of the day. So what do you need them for? What kind of help are you seeking out? Like, what's their goal at the end of the day? This could be a multiple goal situation. You would be paying them for their time to hang out with you, to be with you, to assist and protect you at minimum. But their speciality would be what specifically details their price point.
What do I think about it? I think Feara really needs an assistance because he can fly, like transport is the easiest thing for him.
Okay. So then maybe you would be looking for someone who can also fit that prerequisite. Someone who can fly. Someone who can also fly. Because if that's what's stopping you, it isn't far-fetched for you to know that there are individuals that have the ability of flight in the world. There are many a Dragonborn that can do so. There's ways that mages have done so as well, and you know that some magical items, just like the ones that you have, can imbue the power of that as well. You've just never seen a sword imbue the power of flight before.
And naming it Dreadful.
Yeah. And no one gets to joke here.
Yeah.
I like how if you would tell anybody, yep, I named this sword Red Bull, and it makes it gives me wings. Everyone's just looking at you like, okay, cool. It's fucking hilarious. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to look for help, but I will advise, as a DM, you're probably gonna die by yourself.
Alright.
So get yourself a bodyguard at least. Get yourself if you want a healer, get yourself a healer. If you want brawler. Get yourself a brawler.
What's a brawler?
I'm just saying someone who'll get in the fight.
Oh, all right. Oh, I just thought of a bodyguard like fighting for Feara because earlier did like Feara wanted to disengage in the fight because he doesn't want to fight.
What?
What I'm saying is Feara wants a bodyguard that fights for him.
Fights for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, for him or with him?
What?
For him or with him?
It depends.
Okay. So yeah, if you want someone to fight for you, then they probably would be on the sneakier level, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. More of a roguish type.
Yeah.
Because they this type would be like the kind to get into places that you definitely wouldn't go into, just for them to find a way out easily. That's that. That's definitely not a bodyguard. They wouldn't get in front of you and protect you in that regard. But they do have a certain set of skills, regardless, that could meet your needs. There's positives and negatives, whichever way you go. If you wanted someone to stay in front of you and protect you from getting damaged while you're also delivering your own set of destructive points, I guess, yeah, it'd be more like a tank, a fighter of a sort, maybe. If you want someone to continuously assist and buff you, to shield you when they are able to, that is capable of happening. They might be a little more expensive, as they would probably be using magics and spells. But you could also get a healer, or and in this world, there's also a combination of a healer and a fighter that does not use any sort of magical healing, but is more like a combat medic. There's that as well.
Combat medic?
Yeah. They are very good at seeking out weak points on enemies. And they're very good at healing in and out of combat. But they are limited with that healing, as it is not magic.
Or what?
But they are limited with that healing, as it is not magic. So yeah, you want a combat medic? You want a rogue to get you into places that you shouldn't be in, where they could also freely go around and about without concern or worry about their life? Do you want someone to focus only on boosting your abilities as a mage? Do you want someone to stick to your front or to your side, wherever you assign them, and take a lot of the hits just to deliver some as well? Choice is yours.
Can you repeat for the combat medic again? Because sometimes you got cut off.
Sure.
Like chopped.
Sure. The combat medic themselves, they can assign a weak point on an enemy whenever they see it. This makes it so that you could just attack them again. But the good thing with the combat medics is that they can heal you in and out of combat.
Oh.
But that healing is limited because they do not have spell slots or anything like that.
They do not have what?
They don't have spell slots. It's not by spell slots.
Oh, they don't have spell slots.
They do not use magic to heal, no.
So do they like throw some healing potions at you and that's how you heal? And that's how they heal you?
Not really. Since you ask, I'll show you.
Here on Discord or
yeah, I'm gonna put it on Discord because it's actually a bit of information.
okay.
It is based off a class that I just invented. So.
Oh yeah, the time where most of us were in the med bay. Right. Yeah, med bay.
Med bay.
Yeah, but in the underworld war.
You guys were in the med bay, in the underworld.
Yeah, in the past, like where it was suddenly raining silver.
Oh yeah, you did interact with some common medics, huh? It's crazy.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
because they got therapy, right? You got therapy.
You got therapy from a combat medic. That's funny.
No, he got therapy from the medbay because you remember the ghost that you mentioned, like threw a boulder to Feara.
Yeah. Funny thing, that ghost almost killed someone else in a different campaign. So that's not the part that I want you to read, but I'm just posting the whole thing just so you can see. This is the important part.
Love for combat? Medic level? Hit points at first level. What's con mod?
Constitution modifier.
Tools. Inkarnate tools?
Which ones?
It says right here, like tools, tinker tools.
Tinkerer tools.
Tinker tools.
Tinkerer's tools.
Oh yeah, tinker's tools. Yeah.
Did I spell it wrong?
I don't know.
Or are you asking what it is?
Supposed to spell. I'm asking what it is.
It's tools effectively that you could just like is what you need to like make mechanisms or weapons that are complicated, like grenades or guns and stuff like that.
Oh, so they can like make grenades or guns, like firearms?
They can try if they have the right materials. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
That's just the whole class that I'm sharing with you. Your combat medic is not going to be more than level 3.
More than level 3?
Yeah, they're going to be a level 3 combat medic with a tactician specialist. That's it. Probably level 5. I haven't decided.
Wait, I got a question. Can they like reach at level 20 or no?
No. player characters only.
Oh, okay.
I do not assign, especially for this very homebrew class that has not been tested by anyone ever, other than some NPCs that have healed you guys sometimes and very inconsistently. By the way, I will add. Till then, I'm not gonna implement more levels on this guys because there's no point. Now, if a player character wants to play that all day long, no problem. You want to break my game? You wanna make it so that you could make people ignore damage? All right, no problem. Go for it. But clearly,
what people ignore damage?
Yeah, at some point there's gonna be like damage ignored. Like the Juggernaut version, it's pretty disgusting.
What's the Juggernaut?
It's further down. Is the different class, the different specialist. So there's two different specialist versions: the Tactician and the Juggernaut.
Oh, I didn't find a Tactician. Juggernauts are the third level when you expand and you can burn one in the earlier level as means. Wait, it says here in the Juggernaut, if an ally is down making death saving throws or is unconscious, that ally receives your proficiency into hit points. What does it mean, proficiency into hit points?
Currently, your proficiency is 3. So they get 3 hit points at level 6. At what level is that?
Wow.
What level is that?
What do you mean what level?
At what level do you get that? Is that 3rd level? 7th level? 11th level?
Fears. Like what level? What level Fear is?
No, what level is that? Does that effect come into play? Just say it on the same bracket. Which one are you reading? You're reading the Juggernaut, right?
Yep.
Okay, I see. Is that the 3rd level?
3rd level.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Wow. So yeah, see, this is the thing. Juggernaut is broken because I haven't play tested it at all, and I just wrote it up, and I literally did not get a chance to like really reread it or check it out. And I was just hoping. I was like, listen, I'm just gonna stack it. If anyone's playing Juggernaut, they're not gonna get any cool stuff till like way later in the games, and even then, they're gonna feel a little slacking, a little lacking. So I mean, I might as well give them everything at 3rd level. So I figured it'd be the best thing to do is make the AC. You can't move. If you move, you can't use your effects. That's what I read it as. But you have all these effects as long as you're not moving. Get me?
Okay. So is the combat mechanic still in progress? Work in progress?
That definitely is a work in progress, and you'd be only helping me use them. Because I play test them with you guys, but I can only play test so much. I need players to also play test it so that I kind of. Here's the thing with D&D, right? We write the rules so that we can try to break the rules. Because every chance we can, we're gonna ask, can I push this boundary? DM's gonna say yes or no. Can I push this boundary? DM's gonna say yes or no. Every time. That's all it is, really. And with Juggernaut, I specifically just want less boundaries on the players, because guess what? Players want less boundaries, but you also require it. If not, we're just power playing, and I'm just gonna say, you know what? I will Kamehameha the planet. Does that work, DM? No, forget it. I say yes, it does work. And then the DM's just standing there awestruck, like, wait, what? What the fuck? No. But if you ground it really well enough, it could work. So I was thinking, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it out loud just for myself, and then we're gonna interpret it. Starting at 3rd level, when you expend a hit die, you can burn 1. So I'm basically using 2 hit die in order to receive the earlier roll as AC. I have a D12 right here. I'm gonna roll it. I rolled a 6, so that means I have a 6, and then I take this other D12 and I destroy it. So boom, both those hit dies are destroyed. I get a 6 to my AC. Let's say my AC was 15. I'm now 21 AC. How nice. And you will be added to your AC until you use your movement speed. So I cannot even fucking move. Okay, great. While you are using this effect, you provide cover equal to your proficiency to allies within 5 feet of you. I immediately give 3 AC to everyone next to me. And at the end of your turn, they receive temporary hit points equal to your proficiency that stack 3 times. So you're gonna get a total of 9 hit points, temporary hit points, as long as you stay next to me. If an ally is downed, making death saving throws, or is unconscious, the ally receives your proficiency into hit points instead of the temporary hit points. So I can bring you back up. This final effect can only happen once per ally and can be reutilized after a rest. I don't know if it's going to be a short rest or a long rest. That's why I have to play around with it to see what the players decide, or what the game decides effectively. What's the most balanced? Do I want a short rest? Do I want this effect to happen again? Or do I want a long time? Are there supplies that need to be purchased for this? I'm not using magic. I have to use my skill as a surgeon, a skill as a medic, a skill as a person that can read another entity's biology and figure out quickly how this person's gonna stay up. So the whole time, juggernauts are just, I stand next to you, I'm holding up a shield and stuff, and if I'm attacking, great, but most of the time, I'm like doing bandage stuff on you. I'm like cleaning you up. I'm taking care of you during that whole time. I'm taking care of the whole group for some reason. I'm somehow both holding up a shield, protecting everybody against a lot of people, and cleaning everyone up from like little bits and scars on them. I don't know how it's working. I was thinking maybe like a drone. The combat medic has a drone with them, like a mini drone that they could assign to people or something like that. I felt like that would be a very loose end and very problematic very quickly. So I don't know. What do you think? Think that works for you? You like that? Would you like one of those guys following you around, giving you +3 AC?
Hell yeah.
Making sure you could never go down?
Hell yeah.
Just so you know, because of that, when that happens, people are going to be like fighting both of you. Then everyone's going to focus on them because that is annoying. And then they're going to come back to you. So that's effectively what's going to happen in combat most of the time for this guy. Is that what you want? You want to trial run that? Because again, it's homebrewed. No one's used this before in their life. I posted it on YouTube 2 days ago, so I'm gonna hope that people can see it online. If anyone ever cares about D&D on YouTube, they're gonna find it, and they could probably play it in their games if they want. and they might tell me or not. I don't know. But the point is, I'm tired of seeing healing done that depends on magic. The gods are dead in my world mostly. So, where's it coming from?
To be honest, I kind of want to try the combat medic. That's like, I don't know, an experiment or something.
That's what it all is. That's what it all is. Anytime I use a combat medic, it has been 100% out of combat. Specifically because people like using their hit die options. And that's very nice. I'll tell you now, other combat medics that are not part of the party, they would love the interactions with a combat medic for one, and appreciate that there's a combat medic out there that is willing to push themselves out and go into the world. But most combat medics, they kind of cap out level 2. They're kind of like, I will help you, but that's the most I can do.
So most of the combat medic that most of the players like this be are like level 2.
You are level 5 or 6. But combat medics, if you were going to be a combat medic, you'd be level 6. But there's not much you get at level 6. That's the thing. So actually, if you'd like to tell me like your next character, you wanted to be a combat medic, whether or not we were level 7, I tell you to get to make it a level 7 character, because you wouldn't get another effect until level 7, and you do not get multi attack till way later, I think. So I might not have this fleshed out fully because I don't think I see the multi attack stuff on here. Level 2, level 3, level 4. So yeah, look, I don't have. I have level 4. That you get that. Where's my multi attack information? There's definitely a multi attack for this class. But I don't think that's like to level 10. And I haven't decided exactly.
Do you want to like test run the combat medic?
It's all up to you.
Like
I'm not concerned one way or the other. They do get a multi attack at level 10. Because my other one gets a multi attack at level 8. I just don't have them written down here for some reason. But yeah, it's up to you. It's all for whatever you want to do. If you want to abuse this guy's ability where he stands still and then you bait everybody towards you, that's cool. That's an option. You know fully well that there are people that have guns in this world, bows and crossbows, and a whole bunch of weird stuff that are ranged at times. So it might not always be the best option. But if you could always fly back down to this guy who will give you +3 AC always, or +2 AC because they would be a lower level. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, I guess. It's all your choice. I'm just here to present the options.
I do want Feara's AC a bit higher though. So yeah, I do kind of want the combat medic.
Okay, I'm cheesing right now. I'm fucking laughing over here because it's funny. because I just saw something, so I'm gonna have a bit of fun here. So
Oh,
yeah,
what do you think?
I get to have fun. I get to have fun sometimes. So I saw that you guys have in the pantry a couple of things. I see you guys have this weapon of the first war. That's a breastplate. I see that you guys have that Spirit of Forever Fire. Yeah, it's some breastplate that has like a extra fire attack. So I can use a bonus action to shoot. And I'm imagining one of these juggernauts with that thing on him, right? I'm imagining there's this thing called the Kraken Claw. This is all in the general chat. This is not
a crack. What?
Kraken Claw.
Oh, Kraken.
This was right above where you said my laptop died. That thing it has a latch on to a target. Rolling for success as an attack. Creatures further away have cover based on distance, but no more than 5. You can choose to arrive at the location at the end of your next turn, or the creature can be brought to you if they are no bigger than your size category. Recharge at a long rest. I imagine you giving that to that guy. And the way it's phrased, it says you can choose to arrive. So I don't move. I just arrive to the location. So I'll be able to.
I just saw the Kraken Claw.
So I can imagine that when you give this to a Juggernaut, they can use it, and their effect still stands because they did not use their move speed. It's also useful if I need to bring people to me, so that's nice. Okay. The Buckler Piercer isn't also bad either. The Buckler Piercer actually would be useful, but I consider that movement, so I'm not sure.
Reel out a 20-foot line onto an object in which a hook could feasibly pierce as an action. Oh, so like, if the Juggernaut has the Buckler Piercer, they can like pull something from 20 feet into them?
No, the Buckler Piercer, they'd have to go to it. There's no choice in the Buckler Piercer. Oh. It's the Kraken Claw that you can use. You can do one or the other.
So does it mean that the Kraken Claw, like the combat medic can still move?
With the Kraken Claw, I would say that it doesn't count as movement. Because the way I wrote it says you can choose to arrive to a location or the creature be brought to you. And there's this prerequisite where it's not going to happen till the end of your next turn. You know? It's like you're doing stuff while you're being pulled. Kind of.
While you're what?
You're doing stuff while you're being pulled. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like you're in motion. Yeah, you're in motion for 2 whole rounds, kind of. But yeah, it wouldn't displace that 2 AC. I would say, yeah. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I do want to boost them up. Let's see, what happens at level 7? Level 7. Nah, I probably won't boost him. I'll probably give him level 5 at most. I don't think I want level 7. Because I don't know what it is. Like a barricade zone. When an ally takes damage, you can deduct the amount equal to your proficiency times 1d12. You can only do this once per turn, gaining the ability at the end of your next turn. Ally must be within 5 feet of you, within 10 feet at level 10, and 15 feet at level 14. I don't want to be concerned about this shit. as a DM. No, I'm not doing that. They're going to be under level 7. I do apologize for that.
It's all right.
But if that is what you want, that is what you get.
So how does Feara gonna find like combat medic? Like, is he gonna ask around people like where to find as a combat medic assistant for his adventures?
Yeah, it isn't that difficult. You find out that in Imaly, this probably would have happened before you came down over to back from the city. This probably would have been before you left. I want to say, and in that, okay, just look back here. Go there. Of course, the music is going to change, but hopefully it does it properly now. Because it should be playing.
I got a BRB right now.
Okay.
Alright, hold on. I'm back.
Hello. Alright. So yeah, no, it's not that difficult for you to locate several places that offer folk that could and would help you in whatever adventure that you're seeking to get done, or whatever glory you're searching out and around in this place. But if you look to up here, you find the butcher's shop, and that is a place that was made recently, specifically in respect to the fact that most of the folk in this world are in 2 different camps, or several different camps, to be honest with you. Some of which can be, well, I used to live in this planet, or my people used to live in this planet, and we were just like everyone else, enslaved by the lizard folk, and we are no longer enslaved by the lizard folk, and I have no problem with the lizard folk today. Then you have those that enslaved by the lizard folk, but I do have a problem with the lizard folk. And those people are probably not in this planet. They probably chose to leave somehow, some way. The 300 System Alliance has given them many options to do so. If they were so distrusting of the 300 System Alliance, they probably went to a continent outside of this place. So they are definitely not in Mythino. Others that could be in different camps could be described as lizard folk or dragon folk, that again were enslaved by the lizard folk, and like the lizard folk, they're indifferent or don't care. And then the other spectrum of that, they probably are disgusted by lizard folk and or dragon folk, and there's many variations of that. There's many that view both lizard folk and the dragonborn as the same. They find them both as disgusting as one or the other, while the more tolerant, the ones that are more accepting, obviously know the difference and would care to understand and realize, well, they're people too. And to be honest, it was actually Adasor that enslaved everybody, and he wasn't really like abusing people anyways. He would just be like, no, I just need everyone to work under me because that's how it works, and goddamn it, nothing else works. Was his whole thing. Then you have the extremists, where it would just be followers of Adasor who are prominent enough and that is what really activated the butcher shop. The butcher shop from the outside world, from out of the 300 System Alliance, are the new guys in town. They would be new to your people, and while your life clearly has been changed by all this, Feara, but maybe not so much because while there wasn't much politics in your world, there was enough to say that, like, yeah, our overlord is the Lizard King, and then one day, oh, we don't have overlords anymore. Great. Nothing changed anyways, so it doesn't matter. Really, it's like the two systems that joined the group, the alliance, at the end of the day, at the fall of the Lizard King, they created the butcher shop to be a third party, and then that you can trust that they aren't aligned in any way, shape, or form, specifically because they're paid to not be aligned. So when you show up to a butcher shop, you walk in, you'd meet the folk, you'd interview them if you wish, or you give them a specific checklist that needs to be met, and they work with you in that regard. We're here picking up a checklist in a place that is devoid of any sort of politics, but it does derive from it. I've said a lot in a couple minutes. Yes, still with me?
Yes.
Any questions?
Does the butcher shop, like, obviously, like, so big or something?
No, it's mercenaries.
You said that.
It's a mercenary shop.
Oh.
Yeah. You're buying the butchers themselves.
Wait, what's a mercenary?
Mercenary is someone that would you pay them, they get the job done.
Oh.
You're kind of like a mercenary, but you're not exactly a mercenary. You're more. You could define yourself. I don't want to define you. Huh?
What do you mean that Feara's like a mercenary?
You get paid for stuff, but I mean, it's not like that's your one goal. Money is not your goal. For a mercenary, money is their goal.
Oh. All right. We also didn't know the butcher's shop was like a mercenary shop.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a butcher's shop was like a meat shop or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but that's not what it is. Butcher shop. You go to the butcher shop, you get yourself a butcher.
Is that what they call themselves? Butchers?
That's what they call
Mercenaries?
themselves. That's what they call themselves, yes.
Oh,
You go to the butcher shop, check out for them.
yeah.
Right. Let's go to the butcher shop. Let us go.
Like, do they? Oh wait, do they have like specific classes over there? Like, one's the groups are like roads, one's the groups are thieves, and one is like combat medics.
Is what they have available. And that's what you see as you walk in. You see a dragonborn, of which I tell you, you can recognize to be of very aged and probably should not be doing adventuring or any kind of stuff of the sort. But you see vigor within him. His eyes definitely do not allude to an amateur. And the queer thing about him is that they specifically, as their skin is a bit of a blue, a bit of a soft blue color. The protrusions on him, the bone like protrusions that are usually on a dragonborn of the like. For him, they're crystalline, almost as if they're gems, and they're all different colors. Some red, some green, others purple. There's an orange one on his back, a pretty thick one. But yeah, there's that guy who stands up as soon as you walk in. The other folk are pretty much just a guy, a herald, as it seems that the other gentleman says, Harold, shut up. As soon as you come in, we have a guest. And then Harold himself with the big axe, he sort of puts down his mug, and he does raise a hand to you. The individual in the back over here, he eventually says, hey, can I help you? Are you seeking out some assistance, friend?
Okay. Feara goes up to him and says, like, hello, I'm looking for an assistant. Combat medic specifically for my Avengers.
Okay. Anything else that you need this combat medic to do other than be skilled at their job, I guess? Like, do you require them to have like dark vision? Do you need them to be able to climb on walls? Must they speak Elven? They're kind of just like.
Most of the you got choppy over there when you said.
Oh, okay. He would have said. Pardon. He would have said. Is there anything else that you need them to do? Do they require dark vision? Should they be able to speak Elven? There's many things that we could assist with. There are many combat medics, many who train in that field.
Hold on, let me think.
I will remind you. You said you wanted someone who fly.
What?
I will remind you that you said you may want someone who could fly.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about that. But I am currently like looking what combat medic proficiencies are, and light armor, medium armor, heavy armor, shields. Okay. So there's nothing to be in the combat medics proficiencies.
No, not really. Their background will give them more proficiencies, but you don't know what their background will be unless you specified you want, like, do you want someone to like know how to like fly a ship or fly or ride a vehicle or some other nonsense? Those are things that are in the list as well of options, like anything you could think of under the sun.
Is it possible for combat medic to like solve puzzles if there is going to be puzzles in the future, or if you're going to choose like there's going to be puzzles?
They sort of give you a look.
Oh, no, I'm just asking as the player.
Oh, okay.
Not as Feara.
Yeah. that's an option. For sure. You just have to ask them for what kind of thing you're asking the effectively you'll be asking them for like someone with skills which includes some kind of intelligence of some degree, I'm assuming. um Very difficult for because you must ask this from them. So I how is Favor gonna ask someone to help with puzzles? Like, do you just ask like, listen, I have trouble dealing with puzzles in dungeons? Like, that's a cohesive conversation that could be had. And then to that, I guess the guy would probably give you some options there, but how do you quantify quote unquote good at puzzles?
Or good at riddles or something like that.
But how does one quantify that? What makes someone good at riddles or puzzles? Like, it's that's subjective, no? Or is it even?
I don't know. I'm not sure if you're the type of person to like put puzzles or riddles in the campaign.
I have a ton of them. But how would you ask for that? And what would be your expectation from there? If you were to ask, hey, I need someone who's good at puzzles, what would you expect there? Would you expect a scholar?
What?
A scholar?
A scholar?
Yeah. Someone who's studied all their life.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So is that what you're looking for? You're looking for someone who's good at puzzles?
Yeah, and who can fly.
Who can fly as well. So you must be good at puzzles, can fly, and the combat medic.
Yeah. If it's possible. Sit.
Okay. This went from vague to impossible. So the guy he writes down all three of those things in a piece of paper.
A guy who can fly, a guy who can solve puzzles, and is a combat medic.
And then he hands you the piece of paper, and next to each of those words is a line, and he says, "I need you to assign each of these with a number, 1 being the most important, 3 being the least important."
Let me see.
Take your time.
I'm gonna put 1 in the comp who can fly, 2 on the good at being at riddles, and 3 obviously for a combat medic.
Gotcha. Pardon. That's second.
I also cough after cough.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. So we want flight, then puzzles.
Okay, what?
Flight first or puzzles first?
Puzzles.
Puzzles. Okay. All right. Yeah. Excellent. All right. That gives him a line. Yes. Flight as a priority. Yep. Yep. Just give me a second. I'm racking my brain right now. Just a second, okay?
Yes, I kind of wonder what their tokens gonna look like. So I got a question as a player.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are humans usually like rare, or are they usually normal or common in this continent?
They're common enough. The theory having been that elves have consistently stolen humans away time and time again in history. Elves, the elven folk, have continuously taken humans away from like Earth since like our time and before our time. So I want to say, like, you know how there's like fables that like elves have like, and fairies have taken us away, whisked us away to a mystical realm. That canonically is factual in my universe. And any humans that any human line that exists now in the elven world is a different human from the human line of the ones that is our generation beyond. So millions of years have passed past that point, and humans in the system of Aeon, where they reside prominently in, they live up to like 200, 250 years old. The humans here, they're kind of unchanged. They're kind of very similar to us today. They're kind of they can live to be like 100 maybe. They're sometimes a little more imaginative, and then they can also have a little bit extra essence of warping reality. This is just my way of saying they could have a magical ability off the bat. So I do give the options. Hey, if you're playing a human, if you're in the elf world, you could have been born here a long time. Like your family could have been born here a while ago, and then you'll have the option to like pick some elven stats if you want, or you could just pick like the D&D 5e variant human, because honestly, variant human is a little overpowered than today's human. I'm like, I don't have a feat. I don't think like Kevin does not have a feat, so I would like one. Or +2 to any stat. That'd be nice. But that's just my way of justifying that. But common enough for all to have been integrated in such a way that many would also be within that camp of I hate lizard folk or I'm indifferent. And your dad probably, I want to say, is probably of the human type of which probably grew up here. The ones that were born here makes the most sense.
You're correct. Also the fact that Feara's father is an orphan.
Well, that poor guy.
And when you said that there's like a myth or something, I don't know, like history in the elf where elven people used to take away babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Feara's dad being Pierre or Pierre,
Hmm.
still being an orphan, still stands in his backstory.
Okay, so that brings up a whole world of issues, which I will explain right now. From what time was he taken?
What time?
Yeah, because ironically, when an archfey takes a child, it takes it from whatever time it wants, and sometimes it shows up like today's day and age.
Well, was that my mom was calling me?
Mm-hmm.
What time?
Yeah, so like it could have been like 50 years from today, like me and you's time. It could be for 1,000 years from today in the future, past our time. It could be near the end of Earth's age, so that we could canonically say that no, he is not an orphan, but he was. There was a cry for help from a lonely human who had a child in their hands that saw the planet literally moments, days away from erupting as its core was bursting, as the sun is too close, and the powers that be did nothing to move or to finalize the engine that was meant to move the planet into a Goldilocks zone. It could have been there.
Oh, so you're specifically talking about like the time here, like here on Earth?
Yeah,
Like
it could be whenever.
Like, I can't say that there's a specific time where Pierre's, Pierre was taken away from his parents. But his parents did also die, so still stands up in being one.
I mean, yeah. But what time will he have been snatched away from? You think, or is it a snatch? Doesn't have to be.
And it was like help because like, help or something.
An assistance, yeah.
Because Pierre's parents died when he was still a baby.
Okay. From what time frame? You don't have to give me the backstory. But where, what time on Earth would that have been? Would that have been like in the 50s?
What?
In the 50s? In the 10,000 BCs? I don't know.
The fact that I was actually going to say in the 1950s.
1950s.